Hi everybody, I thought I'd just do a quick video on how I'm filling and composting and feeding my raised beds for the planting season, I suppose over winter and then really for spring, getting things prepared. So just to put you in the picture, what I normally do is I actually compost all my food scraps in these black bins. Food scraps go in the black bins. I stick lawn clippings into the silver bin, and then I do a form of trench composting. So I dig a big trench over here, chuck all the bins in, cover it with soil, and let the food scraps decompose. I often get impatient and plant before it's fully decomposed, which certain veggies love and certain veggies hate. I often actually plant directly in these trenches when it's not ready. Squash, butternut, pumpkin, gem squash love it. Lettuce hates it. So it really depends, I suppose, on what you want to plant. Once it is decomposed, though, then I do get very good results. So these potatoes are planted in actually the incorrect growing season. Better to plant potatoes in July, but I planted these in March, and we're now halfway through April. I planted them halfway through March, but I do find that soil really does grow very well. Everything's pretty desolate now because I'm just preparing for my next planting. I've had to raise the size of my raised beds. I've always wanted to raise them higher. Pretty much I just do them for convenience. It makes it easier to weed, and puts less pressure on my back. Not that I have back issues, but I think it's kind of cool. But now I'm going higher and building taller raised beds because I have a toddler that really enjoys jumping on my potatoes, picking my tomatoes before they ripe. So it's kind of like having a pet monkey that destroys all your crops. So I am going to be building them this high now. What I've done is taken the food scraps that were in that trench. First, actually, underneath, I put all sorts of garden refuse. I put I put even like boards. I had untreated wood boards from an old bed. Had the lavender cut, put in lavender, and basically just used whatever organic material I could find to fill up to a certain point. Then put my compost from the trench in there. You can see it is fairly well composted. I compost absolutely everything, as I've said in other videos. So you'll see everything from avo pips to eggshells to chicken bones. That's the stuff that really takes a long time to decompose. I'm going to probably leave this to decompose further for another month or so. Then I'm going to find some topsoil. I'll probably mix in some sawdust because I think at this point the nitrogen level is probably a little bit too high in here. Not that I'm an expert on that, but generally I find, as I say, some crops don't like it so much. I'll often find that once the stuff decomposes further, the level of the soil in this bed will actually drop. So probably I'll need quite a lot of topsoil. No idea where or how I'm going to get it, but I always seem to make a plan, and then I'll plant. So that's basically the story. It's always a bit of an experiment every season, but I'll do a follow-up video and we'll see how this bed is doing. Cheers.